Welcome to Of Men, For Men. Here we'll discuss issues pertaining to the modern day man. Subjects like health, wealth, lifestyle, gear, and relationships. So join me as we dive into the world of men, for men. Hello, and welcome to the Of Men, For Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lee Max. Yeah, all right. Yeah, come on, yeah, come on. All right. Yeah. All right. Come on in. Kick back, relax. Grab yourself a cool one. And don't slap nobody. All right, yeah, I got to talk about it. I had something totally different planned for today, but that's all right, we're going to get to it. I had a special request, and I'm going to get to it. But, I got to do the obligatory deal and talk about what has happened. We all know it's been all over the internets. I didn't see it myself in person or live or what have you, but of course you wake up the next morning and it's everywhere. And as usual, it may seem like I'm doing it a little bit late, but I like to let the dust settle, give everything 24, 48 hours, and kind of let things, pan out a little bit and see where everything kind of falls. Let the dust settle and see what's going on. And I done heard just about every different take I can on this thing, and it is absolutely ridiculous what happened. First and foremost, it shouldn't have happened. Second of all, when it did, Mr. Smith should have had his ass escorted right out the damn building. You can't assault somebody on live TV. You just walk up on the stage and slap the man, open hand slap, full stroke. I mean, he didn't just pat him on the head and slap the man dead in the face and then just go back in your seat and then start, with all the cursing and raising hell. You can't do that. That's somebody out of control. That's somebody who lost control of their emotions. And we've talked about that, gentlemen. In stressful situations, in pressure situations, you need to keep your damn control. Because once you lose your control, once you let your emotions get involved and get you all geeked up, right? Now you've lost, right? You lost. He may have won the award 10, 15 minutes later, but he lost. He gonna be, he's already talked about, him and his wife already talked about, but we'll get into that. But now he's gonna be talked about for the rest of his life, for the rest of his career, about this one moment. He won an Oscar, people, for a film role that he played. Good for him. Fantastic. But I tell you what, he fucked that up. It is tainted. All right. Now, I know there might be some Will Smith fans out there. I understand that. And I think he's a talented actor. All right. I like his movies. I don't particularly care for the man, the person. That's all. I'm not taking anything away from the man's talent. But he lost his shit. Right there in front of God and everybody. On live TV. And there's people out there trying to defend this. All right. Man, the guy made a joke. He's a comedian. That's what he gets paid to do. And it wasn't even a bad joke. I mean, he wasn't, cutting her down or disrespecting her in any kind of way. She, excuse me, she had her hair close cropped and everything. Apparently she has a condition. It causes her to lose her hair, and that's fine. She had it all close cropped, looked real badass. I thought, okay, that looks fine. I don't know that she's ever worn her hair long, unless it was in a movie role where, of course, she was wearing a wig. She could have wore a wig, or some kind of hairpiece thing, if if that's what she wanted to do. But she decided to go au natural. Okay, all right. Well, you attracting attention. You drawing attention to yourself that way. Excuse me, let me get some water here. Good God. All right. And they've done this before. Draw attention to themselves. Him and his wife. They've gotten on TV or talk show or whatever and talked about their marital problems, their marital issues. Okay? Now, I don't know all the intricate details, but from what I understand, from what's out there in the ether, she has stepped out on him and done it in a public way. And everybody knows about it. And that was part of their getting on TV and airing it all out, I guess. Now, number one, they're married and got kids. If she'd stepped out on me, okay, somebody's packing bags. I don't care who it is. All right, somebody's packing bags. And then she did it out in public and they made no apologies for it. Now, I also have read where he may, again, I don't know none of this for certain, but where he may have stepped out on her. Okay? So, that's punishment or what have you. But what he did is what we call straight up simping, cuckold. Because Chris Rock made the joke and the whole place lit up laughing. Yeah, it was a good joke. Comparing her to that, it's old movies in the 90s or something. G.I. Jane with that Demi Moore. Not that great of a movie. Good movie, but not great. So, Demi Moore looked fine, it wasn't a put down, she had a crew cut sort of thing, and he was, hey, okay, yeah, good, it wasn't a cruel joke, and I don't think he meant it that way, and apparently she suffers from this condition, and I don't think he knew that. I honestly don't believe he knew that. And even after he got slapped, he kept his cool. You could tell he was visibly shaken up. The man was visibly shaken up, and he kept it together, kept the show going. And Will Smith, walks back, sits back down, and then commenced to showing his ass some more. By yelling, screaming at top of his lungs, continuing on with it. So, I don't understand. I guess Chris Rock, didn't want to press charges. And that's fine. He don't have to. Nothing's going to happen to them. They all rich and famous. Ain't nothing going to happen to him. He's going to get a slap on the hand and get sent home. A fine or something, Chris ain't trying to make no waves. Okay, whatever. It's over and it's past and it's gone. Just let it go. He's the one that's being the man about it. What Will Smith did was not being a man. And people, he was defending his woman. He was simping. especially after all what they've been through and everybody knows about it. It's all public knowledge. You know, she running around with dudes, you know, half his age, young men. They blowing her back out. Okay, wrong answer, man. Wrong answer. And then he win the award, and then he get up there and make this whole speech and apologize to everybody but Chris Rock. You know, start doing the sniffling, you know, like he crying and everything. And then they all get up and applaud his ass like he's the victim. Bullshit. The man is filthy ass rich, out of touch with reality. Both of them. Him and his wife. They both got more money than they know what to do with. That's crazy. He just made the world less safe. Now it's okay if somebody says something to you and you get offended, well, you just haul off and assault them. That's fine. That's the example he set. Nothing happened to him. You know, there's a lot of crazy people out there that's going to, you know, copycat that shit. And how about the next comedian that gets up there? He's got to think about, hell, if I say something or, you know, somebody starts heckling me and I take a jab at them, you know, verbal jab, right? Hell, who knows? They can walk up here and assault me. That's crazy. He's straight up cuckold. She must have something serious, dead serious on him, where she could just literally just take all his money. She got to have something on him hard, man. For him to take it, because he was laughing. The whole audience was laughing at that joke, including him. And then she didn't take it so well, and you could see her turn her head, you know, and she you know, you can see she's over there looking, and then once he saw that she didn't take that joke so well, then he had to, all of a sudden, he had to cuck up, he had to man up. He had to do something. Bullshit. Straight up bullshit. That's what's wrong with this world. He could have solved that in any other ways. Lots of other ways. You know, they take commercial breaks and shit. You know. He could have held her hand or comforted her and said, don't worry, baby, I'll talk to him. You know, I got this. I'll get it squared away. And then, you know, told the man, hey, you know, didn't appreciate the joke, blah, blah, blah. She suffers from a condition. And then Chris Rock would have had the opportunity. Like I said, if he didn't understand, then he understands. All right. Then he has the opportunity to apologize or make up for it, whatever. Or if he so decides, he can say, hey, fuck you. All right. You know, then they can take care of it after, you know, after the show's over, right? They can go out back and duke it out, whatever. But you don't just jump up in the middle of the damn show and slap the man right dead in the face. You don't do that. That's not being a man. That's not protecting your woman. You know? Now, you know, if somebody was to hit your woman or something like that, that's a different story. Then, you know, that's you defending her from a physical assault. But just somebody saying something, making a joke or making a smart ass remark or something, that's when you pull the person aside and say, hey, don't appreciate that, blah, 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 whatever. Give them the opportunity to understand it's wrong and how you feel it's wrong. And then give them the opportunity to say, okay, I apologize, I'm sorry. Or, you know, I don't agree with you or whatever. Or, you know, fuck off. They have the opportunity, you know, to respond however. And then you decide what you're going to do from there. Right? Or he could have got his ass up and left. You know, oh, if that's the way you're going to, you know, if that's the way you're going to be, he could have got his ass up and left. People win Oscars all the time and they're not necessarily in the damn building. Right? You've seen it. I've seen it. We've all seen it. That was some crazy ass shit. And again, I know there's some Will Smith fans out there. And again, I'm one. I like his movies. Talented actor. I dig him. Not all of them. But as far as being a man, his whole deal, I don't know. That was definitely not the way to handle that situation. It could have been handled so much better. Like I said, could have waited for a break or handled it after the show, what have you. Give him the opportunity to, to respond, to understand how you felt, and then respond accordingly. And he didn't do that. He just had to jump up right there and show his ass right there in front of God and everybody. That was some jacked up stuff. And I don't understand anybody defending that. Because now you defended violence. And I told you, I don't, we don't promote violence. We don't do that. That was just totally uncalled for. Messed up situation. Total cuck situation. Total simping situation. I mean, he just simped out right there. But, that was his choice. He let his emotions get the best of him. Hold up. Oh, goodness. Oh. Yeah. Sneezers. All right. Yeah, he let his emotions get the best of him. And that's too bad. That's terrible. That's terrible. Let his emotions get the better of him when he could have, But take time. I have learned over my life, the older I get, the best thing to do is to wait. Like I waited a couple of days before I even made this. Like I said, I had something totally else planned. But wait. Give things time. Let things sink in, absorb it. And then find out if it's really worth all of that. Be patient with stuff. Don't rush to judgment. Don't rush to defend. And obviously, if it's a physical thing, that's something different. Because a lot of times, what you think is ain't. And now you done made an emotional decision. And you could pay a price for that. And you don't want to do that. You want to be reasonable. You want to think with your brain and not your emotions. Be smart about it, people. Be smart, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. I got a smart audience here. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let the dust settle. Think about it for a minute. Don't be so quick to jump. Take a time out. Walk away from the situation if you can. Walk away. Because if you don't, you could hurt somebody, or somebody could hurt you. Especially when it gets physical. And nowadays, people are crazy. You don't know what you're dealing with. You might run up on somebody that, like a Joe Rogan who's some kind of 10th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu or something and mess your head up. Have you tied up in a knot. Or some crazy person to just pull out a knife or a gun and cut you or shoot you. You don't know who you're dealing with. Now Will Smith knew, they know each other. They've known each other. They've been in the business for a while. They know each other. And Chris Rock is not a big dude. And Will Smith, he's not a huge dude, but it looks to be at least 6 foot tall. Chris Rock is not 6 foot tall. He's a little guy. He's not a big man. I bet you if that would have been The Rock, and he'd have made that joke, he wouldn't have went up there and slapped The Rock, now would he? I bet he wouldn't. Because he'd have got his ass handed to him. But because it was Chris Rock, right? He figured, I'll go up there and I'll slap him, I'll get away with it. And he did. He did, so far. We'll see. I don't think they're going to take the award from him. There's some rumor about that. I doubt it. I doubt he's going to face any repercussion, other than the public shame of it all. Because now he's going to be a meme in the in Facebook and Twitter and in the internets, right? In the ethosphere forever. I done seen about 100 different memes already myself in the last 2 days. Right? And Chris handled it, like a class act. Right? Because he could have got all shitty too, right? And he didn't. He sucked it up, moved on. And that's the way he'll be remembered. All right, gentlemen, I don't want to beat this up too much. I know you've heard enough of it, and I have too. So we'll let it rest right there, and we'll get on past it. But keep you cool, fellas. Keep you cool, man. Right? Be cool, man. Check out the social media sites, the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gab, Locals, Parler. All right? Also, YouTube channel. Check that out if you're on there. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so on the use the support button on the app that you're using right now. All right? I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Be good to one another out there, all right? We supposed to be men. We supposed to be taking care of each other, right? Let's take care of one another, all right? Let's lift each other up. All right, my friends, I have been James Rodney Leemax, and you, well, you've been great. Yeah. This will be a weekly podcast. You can find it on the Anchor app and anywhere podcasts are available. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to seeing you there.